Pakistan's biggest budget expense is not schools, it is not hospitals, it is not roads, it is debt. In the new federal budget, the government has set aside 8.054 trillion rupees just for debt servicing. That means paying the cost of money Pakistan has already borrowed. Most of this is domestic debt. Around 6.98 trillion rupees will go towards servicing domestic debt. Another 1.07 trillion rupees will go towards servicing foreign debt. This is important because debt servicing is not the same as building something new. It is not build a school, it is not buy hospital beds, it is not repair roads. It is the price of past borrowing. Think of it like a household that spends a large part of its monthly income only on credit card interest. Before it buys groceries, pays school fees, or fixes the house, it first has to pay the bank. That is what Pakistan's budget looks like. And the comparison is stark. At the federal level, health spending comes to about 55.7 billion rupees. Education comes to about 194.1 billion rupees. Together, federal health and education are about 250 billion rupees. Debt servicing alone is more than 8 trillion rupees. That is roughly 32 times the combined federal allocation for health and education. Now there is a caveat. Health and education are mostly provincial subjects in Pakistan. So the federal number is not the country's total spending on schools and hospitals. But even with that caveat, the message is clear. Debt takes up the room first. Everything else fights for what is left. That is why development spending gets squeezed. The total development budget is about 1.607 trillion rupees. Debt servicing is roughly 5 times that. So when people ask why the government does not spend more on universities, hospitals, climate protection, water projects, or public transport, one big answer is because a huge part of the budget is already locked. Locked in past loans, locked in interest payments, locked in the cost of borrowing again and again. There is another layer. The budget also lists huge principal repayments separately. These are not exactly the same as day-to-day spending because governments often roll over old debt by borrowing again. But it shows the scale of the problem. Pakistan is not only paying interest, it is constantly managing old loans coming due. That is why debt becomes a cycle. Borrow to cover deficits, pay more interest, have less space for public services, then borrow again. The government says it wants to reduce debt risk by managing borrowing better, extending maturities and controlling debt servicing costs. But the budget itself admits the risk. If interest rates rise again, or the rupee weakens, debt servicing can become even more expensive. So why is debt taking up so much of the budget? Because Pakistan has spent years borrowing to run the state, cover deficits, and manage crises. Now the bill arrives before everything else. That is the real budget constraint. Not just how much money the government collects, but how much of that money is already spoken for before the public sees any benefit.